Hello YouTube and welcome back to Jimmy Bob 25, and today we're going to go over a situation that I had happened to me recently. Sorry you can't really see me, it's currently sunset and I'm not in my home studio. Next episode we'll be back at home, but I thought that this was fitting to do here. So recently I went to work at one of my local Maccas, and I made some new friends on my first shift. They were great and all that, but one person out of all of them were the one I got off like a house on fire to. Her name was Danielle. So, during orientation, we were laughing, talking, all that stuff, having a good time with each other. So afterwards, I got a snap, and we started talking. A few weeks later, we went to the local laser tag facility here in my hometown. And we went off and started playing. I won laser tag and bowling because at this time we were friends. That will be relevant for later. So, and then we went to, I was playing around with her. It was all fun and games. I had a great time. She had a great time, and life moved on. We went to the shopping centre afterwards, where we were talking, got a few things, and all that. Then, we started meeting up around our two at the parks around our houses. I thought things were going well and all that, and I started developing something for her. And like, we'd be hugging and doing stuff like what a couple would. And we went to, we started acting like a couple, just without some of the things. We were having a great time and all that, and I loved talking with her, and that went on for a few weeks, 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure, 2 or 3 weeks. Then Monday last week, as of recording, we went to, she said that she had something to tell me, and that she was scared and all that. She didn't end up telling me, not that I would say it here anyway, but I'm actually looking a bit like a ghost. So, I moved positions. That sun actually is starting to come out a bit more, so we'll see if I can get some natural lighting. No, not at all. So, we started. She was too scared to tell me what she actually wanted to tell me. And eventually she got to the stage where she asked, "Do you have something to tell me?" I foolishly said yes. Or maybe, to be precise. And then for about 3 to 4 hours across 2 days, we were going friendly back and forth, nothing bad, just a friendly back and forth, about who would tell each other first. I'm trying to capture. Sorry, I have to try and capture that sunlight because it's just too hard to miss. Anyway, so I told her that I would tell her at the park. So the next day, well, the next day after she first told me, we went down to the park, carried on there for another hour. Well, the 3 to 4 hour was the total hours. It was more like 2 hours 20, I'm pretty sure. Roughly 2 hours 20 over text, and then an hour down there. So yeah. So we met up at the park, and the back and forth continued. Tuesday, well, that afternoon, after a bit of back and forth and a bit of okay, fine, I did admit to her that I did like her, even though my feelings were a bit meh. And then she said, alright, let's go play footy, and then hugged me, which I took as, like, I only heard alright, and then she came up and hugged me. I took that as a yes. That was not a yes. Later that night, she said, like, I'm trying to be respectful about this here. I don't want to paint her in a negative light or anything, which this story does take a dark turn. But later that night, she didn't correct me, and actually she was kind of antagonizing it, if you could say. And kept saying things that we could do, even though something wasn't right. So, and then her best friend was also happy as well, and she kept telling me things that I should do, which I was going to take on board, just I need to take a little bit of time. That sun is getting low. Anyway, and then next day, I told my friends. That spread like wildfire. And it didn't take long till almost everyone knew about it. Helps that I thought that it was going to be lasting a little bit. We'll get onto that in a minute. Wednesday afternoon, before work, I got home and I got an audio note. Like, I was already concerned for her throughout the day, and I got home and got an audio note saying that she had something to tell me. She was a bit hesitant about it, but eventually I just tore the band-aid off, and I was just like, you don't like me, do you? She did try to be respectful, I will say that. She did try to remain respectful and all that, which, again, I do appreciate. But I was, like, she said that she only said yes because she didn't want to hurt my feelings. They were crushed. And she told me, she sent an audio message through as I was getting to work. So I kind of just left it there because I knew that I was going to cry. So I was just going through with it. And then, like, I just went through work. It was a decently quiet shift. So I had a fair bit of time to talk about it. So yeah, I had that to think about. Biker. I had that to think about throughout the whole entire day. Well, throughout the whole entire shift, I mean, which thankfully was only 3 hours. And then after work, I got home, had dinner like nothing happened, and then I checked. I hid away from my parents, which, yes, I still do live with my parents. I hid away from them, and then I listened to the audio messages. Yep, did exactly what I expected to. And I'm quite a mentally resilient person. I was talking with my dad about it the other day, and I actually discovered that there was 2 types, mentally and emotionally. That day I was not emotionally resilient. Then, yeah, I called my friends up, well, one of my friends, and I was not happy on that call at all. I was not happy. But the next day, I woke up bright, woke up happy, like nothing ever happened. I actually was joking around with my mum before I left, which was good. So I was all cheerful and happy and all that. And then went throughout the day. She was concerned for me and all that. I was concerned for her. I'm pretty sure that was like the first and only day that she actually was more concerned for me than what I was for her. Which was something interesting. Then, that afternoon, other commitments got cancelled, so I said, okay, let's go down to the park to talk about what happened. Just going to be a casual conversation, nothing about it and all that. And then got down there, flew past her on my bike, and all that. And then we went. Well, and then I got up to the Oval, waited for her, and then she came up, and we were talking for a little bit, and then she just casually dropped that, oh yeah, she had a ring from her boyfriend. And I didn't pay much attention until she actually said, I do have a boyfriend. And I'm like, what? Because unbeknownst to me, I had been making it known to her that I did like her. And yeah, it felt like that she had walked up to me with a hole punch and went bang. This is the part of the video where I should say that I don't blame her for anything. I actually took on a little bit of the blame myself for not picking it up. Danielle is a fantastic person. Though this story might not paint it, I did thoroughly enjoy talking with her, which makes this next part of the story a bitter pill to swallow. So yeah, I don't want any hate towards her at all. she tried not to hurt my feelings at all. That obviously didn't work and backfired, but the thought was still there. The actions weren't really there. But continuing on with with the story, she just casually dropped that she had a boyfriend, as I said, and and had been with him since Monday the week before. Then she was talking with someone, don't know who, didn't bother to ask, and the whole way home, which was her house was along the way that I have to take, so kind of had to go with her. And as I said, she was talking with someone on the phone, and then I tried clicking my fingers to try and get her attention. That did not work. And she didn't even acknowledge that I said goodbye, or I was trying to say goodbye, didn't even acknowledge anything. Then after that, I went to this very park right now, and called up one of my friends while I was doing other commitments, like while I was doing stuff for other commitments. I thank her and another one of my friends so much for listening in and helping me throughout this whole thing. Like me personally, like I could have hid away and done and just cried and all that. I even said to her on the Wednesday that I could have, like, this was when she broke up with me. She could have, well, that I had two options. A, which I'll put up here. A, I could have cried, sooked, and called her the worst person in the world. Or B, get over it and move on. I said to her that I was taking option B, and I'll just get over it and move on. Anyway, continuing on with this, her friend Izzy, she texted me asking if me and Danielle were going to the park like we planned a few days prior. I said that I didn't know because so as I said I didn't know because of what happened not even an hour ago at this point. And she turned around and said, I effing hate you, bye. She knew quite a bit how much that I did like her. And I was willing to put up everything for her as well. So, yeah. And then she hasn't spoken to me since. And then the next day, I said on the Friday, I respectfully didn't swear, didn't do anything. I respectfully said that I didn't want to go to the park with Danielle. For the time being, but also made it clear that I didn't want our friendship to end. I'll get onto that in a minute. I wanted to keep our friendship how it was. Like, I really enjoyed our friendship and all that. And yeah, I didn't want to end that. And in a separate message, I didn't say it on Thursday, but I corrected myself and said it Friday. I also said that I was happy for her and her new boyfriend. And yeah, said that I hope that she was happy, despite my feelings. So that was a big one. Yeah, like I hoped she was happy and all that. I didn't want to make her upset throughout this whole thing. And afterwards, she said that that I should delete all of our saved chats that I saved up until we met in person outside of work for the first time. I started doing that, but there was a lot of chats saved. So I gave up 30 minutes in, and I said that I would do it at a later date. And I got up to that week Monday. Yeah, that week Monday, I got up to. And I said that I would complete it later on. And I was like, okay, yep. I got up to this point. You need to unsave the chats up until this point, and I'll keep going at a later date. However, that was the beginning of the end. She said, well, you'd better get it done soon because I've had enough of your mouth. Wasn't even saying anything disrespectful. Wasn't saying anything to hurt her or anything. Even said it here, even though I've been carefully choosing my words to her. Because as I said, I didn't want our friendship to end. Then she said that I should delete them or she would block me / friendship over. And that this whole situation was my fault. Which you can kind of say it was. I should have said no on Monday, but we live and we learn. But by this time, I was starting to get a little bit annoyed. Because she was going on about some ridiculous thing that she was trying to paint me as the bad guy, even though I tried to make it as respectful as possible. And she said, rada, is this what you do when a girl rejects you? I've had this done to me numerous times before. Like, had a girl reject me numerous times before. Yeah, she completely blew the whole situation out. Because I kept clear communication the whole way through. And yeah, I was just starting to get over it. And then I said that I finally cracked the shits and told her that I was done with her bullshit. Then started taking screenshots in case her best friend came after me. If I would have known that this was going to happen, I would have taken screenshots earlier, but I didn't even know that this whole thing was brewing. So, yeah. Then, later on, I started giving her all the evidence that she did from Tuesday onwards. This whole time, I've been trying to keep it as a lesson to her. I was trying to help her not make the same mistake again. This would obviously not turn out to be the case for her, apparently. And I've got a good glow. Anyway, yeah, this would not be the case on her side. So I started calling her out and gave her all the evidence that I did. And as I said, gave her what she should have said. Because by this time you could sense it. Like, the writing was on the walls. It was only a matter of time. Then I said that her actions were dog. She didn't understand this. So I had to explain it to her like 3 times that no, in fact, the action was dog, not the person. And she was like, oh, but, so you're calling me a dog now, are you? And it's like, no, I'm trying to keep it as respectful as possible. But she didn't take it that way. I also tried to get her to think of how it was in my shoes, as the person that opened up to her. But she also didn't take that, I believe. I could be wrong, but yeah. And then she said that I was making her night bad, self-inflicted, and then a while after that, while I was playing Rocket League actually, she unadded me on Snap. Key things that I want to take away from this situation is it could happen to anyone. Like, I've talked to my parents about it, I've talked to my friends, it can happen to anyone. Like, no matter whether you're a teeny tiny child, or whether you could be like a full-grown adult, it can happen to anyone, which makes this hurt so more, you could say, because who knows, as I'm talking right now, someone could be going through that same emotion. I don't know, but I want to try and raise awareness. Like, I don't want you guys to somehow magically find her and start going after her. That is not what I want done here. I wanted you guys to understand, it hasn't affected any videos, which was good. But still, like, yeah. So, just take my story as a bit of a warning sign, you can say. Like, on Tuesday, my friends even said I was buzzing, I was happy. And then Wednesday, my whole reality just crashed down to earth. So, yeah. Thankfully for me, I've kind of just put on a face and just be like, okay, yeah, everything's fine. I have been talking about it with my friends, keeping my friends updated on the whole situation. And if magically somehow she finds this video later on in life, or even after I post it, Danielle, Izzy, her boyfriend, I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah. Anyway, so guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the poor lighting. Again, I'm not at home, so that's that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Subscribe to JimmyBob25. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you in the next one. Goodbye. So, it's been a few days now, and I got a little bit of an update for you. So, that Monday night after recording that video, Danielle did add me back on Snap, and we are friends again, which is good. So, yeah, the whole thing has been, like, this is my first time experiencing, I don't even know what to call it. So, it's been a roller coaster. I'll say that for sure and certain. I want to say thank you to my friends that supported me and helped me throughout the whole entire way. So, yeah, got huge shout out to them. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. You know what to do. And we will see you in the next one. Goodbye.